Grand Theft Auto is a series that gives you tons of options. Some are great and do great things for you, some not so much. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 horrible choices you can make in Grand Theft Auto games. Starting off at number 10 in Grand Theft Auto 4, taking out Dwayne for Playboy X. One of those memorable characters you can do missions for is Dwayne in Grand Theft Auto 4. He's a former drug kingpin who's trying to put his life back together and basically an old man who's lived a hard life, so not unlike Nico basically. They do quickly become friends, but after some of Dwayne's actions offend his boss, an obnoxious asshole named Playboy X, things get a little more complicated. Basically, you get the option to kill Dwayne or Playboy X. For most players, the choice is obvious. Playboy X has been nothing but a condescending little turd the entire time you work for him, where Dwayne is friendly and nice and you actually kind of care about him. Plus, killing Playboy X unlocks his luxury apartment as a safe house, while killing Dwayne only gets you $25,000. So, knowing that going in, it's a no-brainer. Kill Playboy X. Still, for some reason, if you want to be a cold-blooded backstabber, you can kill Dwayne in this grim scene where Nico shoots him in the back of the head after he puts up no resistance. Like, if you want to feel like a real traitor, a real bastard, this is the option to take. At number 9 is helping out Beverly Felton, the paparazzi, and not killing him in the end. A lot of the strangers and freaks you meet during the events of Grand Theft Auto 5 are pretty horrible. They all have their own little quirks, but yeah, most are bad. Take this guy, Beverly Felton, for instance. He's a celebrity chasing paparazzi, and he fits all of the worst stereotypes you would associate with a character like that. And he basically orders Franklin around to do his dirty work, which involves stalking celebrities and stirring up scandals. He is just a crappy person. He's a piece of work. And the only reason anyone puts up with him is because they get a decent payday out of it. So of course he totally stiffs you on the payment at the end of his string of missions. Duh. This is where you get the choice. Walk away or take the money by force. Walking away is a horrible choice. This dude has been incredibly annoying the whole time, and he doesn't even pay you for it. Like, it's possible to get your money back without even killing him. You can just knock him out if you want to. So there's literally no reason not to get your money, as well as a little revenge for having to deal with this twerp. And yes, twerp is absolutely the best word. There isn't a better word. At number 8 is Grand Theft Auto 4 taking Dimitris' deal. At the end of Grand Theft Auto 4, the game gives you a choice. You either get revenge on Dimitri, the Russian mobster who has been giving Nico trouble the entire game, or take his deal. Now, taking the deal means that Nico just rolls over for the many, many things Dimitri has done to Nico and his cousin Roman, and it makes Nico look like a chump. Partially because Dimitri changes the job mid-mission, forcing you to get into a shootout with an entire warehouse filled with goons, but also because Dimitri betrays you anyway. Everything seems okay after you get a decent amount of money for your trouble, but then a hitman attempts to kill Nico at his cousin Roman's wedding, and it leads Roman to get shot with a stray bullet. Regardless of if you think Roman is an amusing presence in the game or is just an annoying loudmouth, it's still pretty messed up that he gets killed because of your dumb decision. Of course Dimitri would betray you. That's all he ever does. Sure, you get your revenge, but at that point it is pretty hollow. Choosing the revenge path leads to another character, Nico's girlfriend Kate, dying instead. So you're basically damned if you do, damned if you don't, but at least Nico isn't a chump who loses the only family he has. At number 7 is letting yourself get really fat in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Like in real life, if you eat too many hamburgers in GTA SA, you're gonna get fat as hell. Eating food restores your health, but if you eat too much, you'll just start to get fatter. Outside of certain characters making fun of CJ for putting on the pounds, it can also have a negative effect on your stats. When you get fat, it'll limit your sprinting ability, your climbing ability, and your driving ability. So basically overeating, it's a net negative. It is funny to turn CJ into a Simpsons-esque big fat dynamo, but you're really kind of just turning CJ into Paul Blart Mall Cop. Overeating, it's just a horrible choice in this game. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's completely reflective of real life, because it's not, but they made a fat dynamic. You gotta try to avoid it. At number 6, taking a dive in the fight in Grand Theft Auto 4, The Ballad of Gay Tony. In this mission, Lewis is forced to work with this shady dude named Mr. Santo, who lent his mother some money after she lost her job. To pay off the debt, Lewis has to fight in a series of cage matches before getting to the final fight where Santo wants you to take a dive. So basically this asshole is threatening your mother and now is asking you to fight against a hobo. You'd have to be a total chump to go along with that after all he has done, So, it's way better to just knock the dude out and deal with Santo personally. The guy even threatens to burn down your mother's house, and he pulls a knife on you. You don't say that about a man's mother. Taking Mr. Santo's deal is horrible, simply because the guy deserves to be taken down a peg. Actually, more than a peg. At number 5 is Grand Theft Auto 4's killing of Darko. One of the main plot lines running through Grand Theft Auto 4 is Niko hunting for the man responsible for selling out his squad during the Yugoslav Wars. The main reason he ends up in Liberty City is because he was tipped off that the guy responsible was there, and it's one of the main reasons he gets into a life of crime in the first place. After a few false leads, Niko finally discovers the identity of a guy who got most of his former squad killed. It's this pathetic dude named Darko Breivik. When you finally meet him, he's basically delivered to Niko on a silver platter. There's a no action-packed mission where you corner him and take him out or anything. He's just a tied-up loser that you get the option of executing or not. Killing him at this point is pretty cold-blooded, actually. If you go through with it, Niko shoots him 12 times, one for each comrade who died because of him. It's fairly grim. It is a serious scene, and it's kind of out of place for what's generally a pretty silly series. There's no denying that this dude was bad, though, meaning this is far from the most horrible choice you can make in these games, but still. You are shooting an unarmed man who is really no danger to you, and it's pretty nasty no matter how bad the guy actually was. At number 4, killing Al Napoli after kidnapping him for a pair of insane stalkers. This is another GTA 5 one, and just a ridiculously cruel thing you can do. You can kidnap an innocent man for a pair of insane stalkers and then kill him when they're done with him. It's multiple layers of messed up. It's another Strangers and Freaks mission, and again, one that can only be accessed by Trevor. In it, you help a pair of British creeps named Nigel and Mrs. Thornhill steal stuff from various celebrities before taking things way too far and chasing a former action star named Al Napoli, causing him to crash, then kidnapping him. For their final mission, they request that you either let their captive go somewhere in the county or kill him. Obviously, killing him is pretty messed up, as he's literally just a victim of these stalkers who held him captive for days against his will and serves no purpose at all. Like, why would you kill this guy? Like, you never see either of them again after this mission, so there's no reason. It's just there if you want to be a real bastard, and that's it. At number 3, in Grand Theft Auto 4, you can help a serial killer. Like, one of the random people you meet in the game is this dude named Eddie Lowe. The first time you encounter him, there's obviously something wrong with him, and it seems to take Niko a shockingly long time to realize he's a dangerous, crazy person, considering he's muttering stuff like a madman every single second you spend with him. This is an entirely optional situation, by the way, and even after listening to the dude ramble about people he's killed, Niko still doesn't seem like he wants to kill this creep. You're free to just go along with him for whatever reason. Eventually, even the game gets sick of him, though, having the dude randomly get enraged and attack Niko during your second encounter with him. Funny thing is, even here you don't have to kill him, you can just run away if you want. These games can get really dark, but literally aiding and abetting a serial killer who's bragging to you about his many crimes is horrible and weird. But it's entirely your choice, and you can go along with it, or hey, you could kill the guy too. At number 2, you can kidnap people in Grand Theft Auto 5 for the altruist cult. I mean, it's totally optional, but you can do it. It's also just really, really terrible. Like, you kidnap people and deliver them to a group of crazy backwards cannibals. Like, it's seriously something you can just do in the game. It only works with a few random event characters, and most of them barely get you any reward. And the ones that do reward you something tend to be people who normally would give you something a lot better. So it's almost even just a waste of time and energy to do this. The only reason to do it is basically to be horrible. The only guy who even gets the option to do stuff is Trevor, of course, but even for him, this is a bit much. And finally, at number 1, in Grand Theft Auto 5, choosing to kill Trevor or Michael. You're given a choice in the final mission of GTA 5. You either kill Michael, or you kill Trevor, or you go on a suicide mission. At first, you might think the suicide mission is exactly that. If you take it, basically all 3 characters end up dead. But no, that's actually how you get the best ending, making it so that you can go into the post game with all 3 characters playable. It's the other 2 options that are horrible choices, though. Not just because it's pretty low to betray your crew, but because killing one of them makes it so they're permanently unplayable. If you wanted to mess around as them in the open world or try to get 100% completion, you are screwed. Regardless of if you have Franklin betray Michael or Trevor, the ending is short, it's fairly grim, and it's, just unsatisfying. All the dudes who gave you problems throughout the game never get their comeuppance, and one of the main characters you spend the entire game playing as dies pretty pointlessly. It's a horrible choice story-wise and a horrible choice to the player because it can lock you out of content, and that's kind of the last thing you want in an open world game like this. I also have this bonus point for you. Choosing to torture this random guy in Grand Theft Auto 5, you know, that whole sequence about just torturing a dude, what was that about? This game gives you some choices on how to hurt this poor sap, all of them horrible, and all are choices you can make for some reason. I don't know. That's all for today, though. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Do not forget to enable all notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on GameRanx.